Nwachukwu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Ebonyi State. May I also join my other colleagues who have spoken earlier than now to congratulate and eulogize you for that wonderful and memorable address. Mr. Speaker, that day you stole the show, and Nigerians are commending you, and we are proud to have you as our leader. Mr. Speaker, in the issue of the budget, the renewed hope budget, it's no doubt that man is a product of hope. When things are good, we hope that it gets better. When they are not, we hope they will get better. The renewed hope means that the hope of this country was at the verge of getting expired. And Mr. President, with the renewed hope mantra, came on board with the promises. Which further steps he has taken so far? The removal of the fuel subsidy and the budget presentation, well articulated, well captured, and timely. No doubt he means well for this country, and we are here to give him the necessary support. But Mr. Speaker, I am worried. In some areas, I want to make my input. My worry is based on when you go down to our various locations, localities, in the constituencies, you discover that previous governments had budgets, some of them implemented. But when you look at those projects implemented earlier than now, you see in the community, boreholes, electricity, schools. Today, Mr. Speaker, you visit places. These projects are abandoned. There's no provision for maintenance. You go to schools, schools renovated, well built. Today, they are dilapidated. You don't find children in our public primary schools because down the constituencies, these federal government projects executed do not have ownership. There is no oversight down to our constituencies. Year in, year out, funds are being allocated to build more, but the ones...
Honorable Prince, please be attentive.
But the ones built already doesn't have ownership. Mr. Speaker, as parliamentarians saddled with the responsibility of oversight, I want this House to take it further to stepping down our oversight to what we have and the state of this infrastructure in our localities, so that next year's budget of this renewed hope will not be renewed hope again. It will be consolidation of the renewed hope. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, last week in my office, one of my faithful constituents walked in, and he came to look for a job. I asked him, what have you been doing before? He said he was in the army, but he resigned. Further question on why he resigned, why people are jostling to join the military. Mr. Speaker, tears ran down my cheek when he opened up. He said he had a terrible experience that only God saved him. That somewhere in Borno State where they were posted to work, that fellow military men sabotaged the whole security exercise by giving information to terrorists who rounded them up. The whole military men that were dispatched for that journey, there were only 2 that escaped and survived. And that's why he came out and quickly resigned. A heavy amount of money had been voted for security, Mr. Speaker. And Nigerians are expecting to have changes. How do we spend this money when down the rank and file there is no encouragement to the troops, which leads to them compromising, including to the extent of taking up the life of their colleagues? Mr. Speaker, the situation is alarming. Something needs to be done. The direction of oversight on the activities of these security chiefs. And to the extent they have close relationship with the troops on ground, Nigeria is no more safe. We don't need to pretend about this. Let the renewed hope be extended to this grassroots so that common Nigerians will be confident enough to sleep with their two eyes closed. This does not limit, it's not limited to the security agents alone. You go to the ministries. A lot is happening. In my constituency today, I have to tell you, Mr. Speaker, because I'm going to take it up. In 2023 budget, we have budgetary allocation to some projects. Till today, monies have been released, but none of this project was done. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming up with it. We can't continue this way and live this way in this country and expect anything reasonable change. So I suggest in this budget, in as much as we have the powers by the Constitution to make input, not just talking here, but actionable input in the budget, let us please, with all humility I submit, let every legislator here go home and constitute what may be called project custodians in various constituencies, so that when these projects are executed, people can assume ownership, make sure they are kept functional. Not every day we keep rolling out projects where the system is decaying.